I mean, I know your firm really well, and I know you and co-founder and, you know, the people in there, you know, I know that this is coming from a really good place. But tell us some success stories.
Yeah, success, you know.
I mean, well, first of all, we have to define success, I suppose.
Yeah, so success is, it's not always the most biggest case, the most interesting. He it's a really small case, you know, representing somebody, for example, that's had an altercation with the police, and he or she's been charged with assault on emergency worker, and of course now the police have to wear body cameras, and those cases I actually really do enjoy, because invariably what happens is once you really push the prosecution on disclosure and we get the cameras, it turns out that actually your client hadn't pushed, kicked, punched the officer, and they've just made it up. And interestingly enough, we do a lot of that work, and we find a lot of success, because actually, unfortunately, and we've just seen the stuff at Charing Cross, it has come out in the panorama, the police do misbehave. And then sometimes, obviously, we do a lot of work with children. I think some of the successes are diverting that child away from the criminal justice system. I think that's a success, because I think my fear is once a child's gone through that process, the fear of, I say fear, I think people think that if a child gets arrested, that's going to scare them into never doing things gone wrong again. That doesn't work.
No, I know that from work I've done.
And sometimes success is just getting your client, getting their journey shortened by some sort of resolution, you know, because dragging it out is just painful for them. So success might just be, actually, we managed to get an agreement with the prosecution to a lesser charge, and your case now finishes.
Right, yeah. And yeah, so I want to go back actually, because I didn't really pick up on it, but it was stuck here about the whole idea of police arresting people, you know, in the middle of the night or, you know, at the most awkward times. And there's a couple of really good examples in the media. There's a guy on YouTube, I think his name's Dr. K, and they sent 6 police officers to his house over something he posted or something, and dragged him away in front of his kids. That's been quite big. And then the other one is, and I don't want to get into the politics of the View, but Graham Linehan, the writer of Father Ted and the IT Crowd, who was greeted off an aeroplane by 5 police officers, you know.
I don't really understand why I know why they do it, because their view is put you into some trauma. You know, if they arrest you unexpectedly at 5 a.m, that's going to put you in a vulnerable position. But it's just, it doesn't really help the investigation. And I don't know why they're trained to do it. And they even do it, so I can see from both sides. So I've got a client who got arrested at 6 o'clock in the morning because his partner said that he'd been sending her some rude messages. But he's got the kids, so the door gets kicked in, and he's got 2 children who see dad handcuffed and dragged away. And I just think, on what planet do you think that was okay? I understand with very, very serious crimes, there is that they need to arrest you without you knowing, take some devices, gather evidence. But there's a lot of cases where it's unnecessary.
Completely unnecessary.
And actually, they could just invite you in for an interview.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And give you the chance to bring a lawyer with you.
Yeah.
Because that's a whole nother thing, isn't it? People are persuaded to go and talk to the police unaided or on their own. And the police often say, well, if you've got nothing to worry about if you haven't done anything. But that isn't the answer. The answer is, it's nothing to do with that. You're inviting me into a world of which I know nothing, and I need someone who can guide me through this.